Okay, here's the problem, boss. Andrew, so I took a little closer look. I peeled this back more. Okay, so I've opened this right up so I can get in here. So see, this is the green wire, and one of it, there's a broken wire that was poking up. The black wire is broken a little bit, and I'm gonna go through each one, and I'm gonna try and wrap a cloth around each one where it's broken, and hopefully do a temporary fix so that I don't have to send this back to you. Like, I'm going to use a cloth type, like that you'd put on a hockey stick, but not electrical tape. I'm going to use cloth type of tape so that way it will stick and give. And then I'm going to use some of that. Once everything's wrapped, I will then use the liquid rubber, the liquid tape that you suggest, and then glue this back, and I'll wrap this, back up. So this is what I wanted you to look at in the beginning, is to open this up and check these wires, because I think what's happening is these wires somehow, when it's in that 45-degree bend, I think one of these wires maybe touching the other, causing the short. So that's where the problem was right there, and that's really close to this thing. So I just wanted to show you that. Thanks for watching, buddy. All right, so it was mostly the green wire that was broken the worst, and a little bit on this black wire. Now, there's a little nick right there on the orange wire, or the yellow wire, sorry. And you see here, the red wire, little tiny nick. Now, that's all I can see. So I'm pretty sure, because of how that green wire was that I showed you, there was like wires sticking up and poking, and that was interfering with that black wire. So I do have my electrical tape. I am going to leave this open like this, and then I just so happen to have this spiral metal that's was on the wire from factory. This is what I was hoping that you were going to put on, is this kind of thing. And this is more flexible and can protect the wire. This is what it's for. I just don't feel that having this plastic wire wrap that you put on here, because of how fast this is going, when this wheel is spinning, I have a feeling that if this touches it anyway, this is going to melt. And it's just going to dissolve and maybe cause more problem. I would feel more comfortable putting this metal wrap on. This is going to take me a bit to get it on there, but that's my goal. And so let me get this glued up, and we'll get back to you, and I'll let you know how it works out. All right? Otherwise, I'm shipping it off to get it rewired. I'll let you know how this turns out, boss. Catch you in a bit. Okay, so I wrapped the two wires that were really bad. The green one, as you seen previously, I wrapped it with some cloth tape, right? It's a material tape. And I also squeezed it down a bit so that there was no wire sticking. So I made sure it was absolutely smooth and clean. And then I wrapped it with the tape to give it separation from the other wires. I did the same thing to the black wire. I got a little bit of tape on it so that it's complete. And then I put the liquid electrical that on it. And then the plastic wrap, I put a little bit of plastic wrap to cover the area where I stripped back the wire. And then that piece of heat shrink that was at this end, I just kind of threaded that all the way down, and I put the heat shrink piece over top of that plastic. And then I put on this wire, not plastic, wire wrap. This is what was basically on the wheel when I first got it. It's something like this. And then this had a piece of heat shrink around it to keep it from unraveling. So I'm going to let that dry up and stuff and give that a couple hours. But I wrapped it up. I wanted to show you guys and let you see. This is what I was expecting to happen, is have some kind of metal. I really don't think, because of, if I'm traveling 60 kilometers an hour, and this is plastic, and this is rubbing on here, like, or even like that close, and it just touches a little, that's gonna just melt and dissolve. At least if the metal is here, um, it's gonna be more protective than plastic, I think. So this came off of I have another electric wheel, my factory wheel that was on my bike in the first time, and I actually unraveled all of this because that wire broke at the other end. It melted together. So anyways, I just wanted to show you that, give you an update, and I will let you know how it works after lunch. And hopefully it works good. I'll give you an update as it happens.